your favorite weekly sports show. We got AG in the building, got Naturel in the building,
Present.
D Strange. And we want to get into this Zion Williamson hype. Preseason, he looking real tough. AG, what you think?
I mean, I was a big fan of him at Duke. Like at first, when I first started seeing him coming out of high school and all that stuff, I seen him, I'm like, oh, this guy's just an athlete, a dunker. Mm-hmm. And as I watched him, because they, Duke had an amazing team, they put them on TV all the time. You could just see that he's something else. Like his balance, even for how big he is, and just how nimble his dribble. Like for his size is crazy. And just even like his footwork, I guess, like when some of the moves I was seeing him do, he was going at Gobert. Like, it's just the fear's not there, but the kid's humble too. Like he's very aware of his surroundings. Like he's very aware of who he is and what's going on and what people expect of him. And I feel like he has a good head on his shoulders. I mean, I'm gonna sit here, and obviously this is preseason. We all know that everybody's probably going somewhere between 60 to 70% right now, except for Giannis, who's going 120. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna put too much stock into this. But if you're asking me right now, if Zion Williamson is playing 30 to 32 minutes a game, if he can average almost 20 and 10, like my answer is yeah.
Well, looking at it, I've been telling Naturel about him a couple years ago. I said, yo, this dude's on another level.
He was doing this against kindergartners. If you look at Zion Williamson's older tapes, the way he looks compared to the people in high school, that wasn't even fair. That wasn't even close.
I mean, it was crazy. But at the same time, it's still grown men, and it's not to say that this dude doesn't look strong. He looked like he's gonna be brilliant inside. Okay. But it's still going to come down to how does that translate towards wins. I think he'll have success early on. I think still he's going to have to take his time to learn how to win, how to actually transfer his talent into a winning culture. And I think that's what they're trying to build in New Orleans. So it's still early, so let's give it some time.
I kind of disagree. I can see them getting wins this year. I picked them to get that last playoff spot in the West. I think they can be that this year just because of the depth they have around him. It's not just him. You got Lonzo there. You have Derek Favors. You got other pieces around him, other veterans that, okay, this isn't your typical rookie situation where you just go to the worst team. They got that haul back for Anthony Davis. So to me, just because of that, I think he can be more successful. I think he still has to learn how to become that winner. But honestly, next year, I could see 20 and 10 from him. I can see 20 and 10, and I can see them getting that 8th spot. Guys, get in the comments. Let us know how you feel about Zion. Is he living up to the hype? Is he showing you something? Or do you think, everybody's making a big deal out of nothing? Get in the comments. Jump.
And we're back, the jungle. Now we're going to get into the Nationals and the Dodgers. What happened? I'm going to jump it off. Look, I understand that Kershaw's your best pitcher. I get all that. But Dave Roberts, please. I mean, you had all types of options. You could have done anything else except what you did. And you would have won that game. But you did what you did. I would have came down if I was the owner right there. And I would have said, yo, you know what? You deserve to be fired. Because I know I've given you a super team every year for the past 3 years. And I'm not seeing no results. I don't think any other manager would have even done that within that concept of understanding Kershaw's previous history in the postseason. Come on, it gotta be you who was at fault.
Yeah, they were saying that you only got to be manager because you stole the base. Earlier this week, I was leaning toward Kershaw, and I'm like, yo, you get put in that spot, you got to get those outs. But then again, we got to look at the spot he was put in. He got the first out. He thought it was over. I'm sure everybody, the other people in the dugout thought that was over, but nah, Dave Roberts was sending him back out to start the next inning. Gets another home run hit off him. What do? Still don't take him out. Still don't take him out after he got rocked. You leave him in the game to get rocked for another home run. They tie the game and eventually win. You had a couple chances to right that wrong. So even though I was leaning earlier towards Kershaw, Dave Roberts, you got to get all all this blame. You get all the blame, bro.
I think the world of Clayton Kershaw. I think he's a generational talent, and I think that he's you know, a guy that everybody's gonna remember. But he's got, you know, essentially definitely worse, almost like Peyton Manning, where he's probably the base regular season quarterback, but just something in the playoffs, it goes off and wrong. But at least Peyton.
I was gonna say, don't disrespect him.
Right. That's why I said, and I love me some Peyton Manning. But this is way worse than that. I'm glad that Clayton Kershaw, when they interviewed him, acknowledged it right away and said that this is a true thing. So he definitely owned up to it. He's not like these guys who just try to pretend that it's not happening. I agree with you that this falls on Dave Roberts. Clayton Kershaw, when he came in and struck that guy out and got pumped up, you could have took him out right then and there, left him on a high note, actually probably had his confidence going and leading into some, you know, even if that was, you guys lost, he's like, okay, you know what, I can get it done in the playoffs, or I can come in big spots. But not only that, you come in the next inning, you lit up a home run, but I'm gonna take it a step further. Not only that, you left Joe Kelly in, okay, and you let Joe Kelly come in and pitched a good inning, but then you bring him back out instead of going to your closer and your bullpen who was ready to go, and ends up blowing the game on top of that. So Dave Roberts, hands down, has to get the blame for me, because not only did you make one wrong decision, you made two wrong decisions, which ended up actually costing you the game. I would walk into the office go down same way from the owner's office and say to him, if you do not win the World Series this year coming up, I don't care if you go there and we go 7 games. If you do not win, you're gone. No. And let's just
watch and see.
I would have went right.
The Dodgers will have an opening at the end of
right after that game. Listen, if he would have done the normal thing, not try to think outside just your normal thing that you do, you would have won that game. That's crazy.
I think managers get flipped too fast in baseball. So I just personally think that he made a wrong decision.
But he's a nice guy.
No, it's not that he's a nice guy. But you gotta give him that. But moving on. So let's jump into this Astros-Yankees series.
Astros-Yankees, the big boys.
Right.
The heavyweights.
If it were up to the World Series, if it was up to Major League Baseball, they might want to put this as the World Series. Somehow.
Yeah, this is the World Series.
But I guess like to jump it off, Doc, like what do you think about this series? Who do you have favorite and what's like intriguing to you?
Well, I think the Yankees have a little bit of an advantage now because Cole had to pitch in that last game, so they're not going to have to see him the full slate. With that being said, you still got Verlander coming up, and you still got Greinke. So, I mean, that's just a murderer's row, and you're still going to have to see Cole. So, if the Yankees can actually get to at least one of them within the first 2 games, I think the Yankees have a chance. If not, if they start pitching lights out and then you go to Cole down 0-2, it's over. It's a wrap.
So who do you got in how many games?
I got the Astros in 6.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Bro?
Off the bat, I think the Astros, when it comes down to it, on paper, I do feel they have a better team. I feel they definitely have, no one's gonna argue start pitching. Yankees, you can argue they got the better bullpen. And then the hitting, it's kind of a toss-up. I'm just gonna give the edge to the Yankees here. I feel the Yankees are a more confident team right now. The Astros had to go to the limit, 5 games, to get rid of Tampa Bay. And they were saying that they were stealing the signs in their big first inning. That's why they got over he was gonna throw a fastball up or a curveball down. So they kind of read that.
They got 4 runs
and got 4 runs and ran away with that. If they don't do that, so if that's what it's coming down to for Houston, even though on paper they look like they have a slightly better squad, I'm gonna favor the Yankees here. The Yankees bats have been, I guess, just busting loose. I don't expect their bats to get cold, and that's the main thing I look to ride them. They say you don't usually ride good pitching. I look for the Yankees to ride their hitting into the World Series.
Okay, just going with this, even though I'm a diehard Yankees fan, I'm trying not to be a homer. I do think that it's gonna matter of, rest or repetition. So was it good that they've been off since Monday, or was it good that the Astros have been playing and maybe are a little bit more into the swing of things? So my whole thing is look, let's not argue in the starting pitching. They have 3 aces. Okay, they have to get through them, work them. Like the big thing was what they were doing with the Twins is that they were working counts. They were getting their pitch count up very fast. The Astros bullpen is not bad. It's not like the Yankees. So I think if they constantly make it into their bullpen, they can do that. It's just all about, are they taxed? Are the Astros taxed from going 5 games? Are the Yankees bats gonna go cold? Because that's the thing too, is that we have so many power hitters, so many guys that can swing it, but if we're striking out and not putting people on base because everybody's bat went cold, you know, it could get ugly fast, especially with these guys going 6, 7, 8 innings possibly, these starting pitchers. I'm gonna go with the Yankees in 7, but this is one thing I wanna see. We're paying somebody around $28, $29 million. He's somebody that you have been very critical of during the playoffs, and it's getting to a point now where people want to know, are you going to be A-Rod? Are you going to be this guy where, you know, Giancarlo Stanton, I am one of your biggest fans.
I ain't.
But if there is a series where you could dominate and the Yankee fans would love you, it would be this one. You cannot bat 200, 180, hit 1 home run when we're up 8-1 or losing 8-1. You need to do that. So with that, I am gonna call out Giancarlo Stanton because you need to show up.
I'm sorry. He ain't getting the most clutch player I see is Altuve. All right, he's a man on a mission.
Yeah, and is Gleiber gonna reciprocate that second series and do it again?
All these questions to be answered. I guess some are being answered right now. Get in the comments. Let us know who you like for this upcoming series. Do you like the Astros? Do you like the Yankees? Let us know and why. Jungle.
And we're back. Welcome to the jungle. All right. Yeah. So we're here with our segment that we still looking for a name for, but the NFL picks.
No doubt.
We're all starting off. We're all over 500. We're all gaining traction. So definitely stay tuned to see what how our picks going here. So Rel, just drop us, start us off.
Yeah. So the first game, guys. Well, we already did the Giants New England. Even I had to pick New England for that.
We're not mad at you.
Yeah. Carolina at Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
In London.
Carolina.
These London games are funny.
Yeah, there's no home team, but I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say, cause this is a division game, I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. I'm leaning toward Tampa Bay too, just because these London games are funny, and Carolina, they've been
playing too well.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Trips over London, they get you. You'll see.
Yeah.
All right, next, Seattle at Cleveland.
Seattle.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna write it against them. It's gonna be Seattle.
I'm gonna say Seattle also. The Browns, y'all gotta show me something. If y'all win this game, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna understand what's going on. But
right.
Houston at Kansas City. It's probably the game of the week. This is the game of the week.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Ooh, yeah, I'm not jumping on the train just yet.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm going with the Texans.
I'm going to go with the Texans also. Washington at Miami.
Oh man.
Who wants to lose this one more?
Dude, these fans don't even want to watch this game.
Who's at home?
Miami.
I'm gonna pick Miami then. Because
Their first one of the year?
Only because they're at home.
Miami's just a wreck. I'm going Washington.
I'm gonna go Washington too. Like Miami should, but
Miami's at home.
Washington, believe it or not.
Quarterback again, Rosen.
Washington's like a second tier suck team. They're not playing up to their potential suckiness, like their suckiness of 5-11 never could be. Like if that makes sense. Like they're just like at no point were they going to be good, but I feel like you guys could be 4-12 and 5-11. Why you don't got to be this bad. You don't got to be you don't got to be this bad.
Philly at Minnesota.
Oh, good game, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I'm gonna say Minnesota also. Philly's been looking shaky.
Yeah.
New Orleans at Jacksonville.
Ooh, Ramsey's coming back, right? Ramsey's back this week.
Maybe. Allegedly.
No,
I think it's
I
back.
expect him to play.
For another team. Yeah, no,
if Ramsey's on the field, I gotta pick Jacksonville.
what are you thinking?
New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm gonna go New Orleans too. I just think they're just a better team.
Yeah. Cincinnati at Baltimore. So I saved it. Baltimore.
Baltimore, yeah.
That's not even. Oh, San Francisco at LA Rams. San Fran. I'm just gonna throw that in. Right now, I'm high on San Fran this year. They got that running game going.
Nah, Rams. going with the Rams on this one.
Jared Goff's been one of the worst quarterbacks.
Yeah,
in the
I get
league.
it. I get it.
Gurley's out.
I get it. Rams.
I like the 49ers, and I'm a fan of them, but they're gonna lose this week to the Rams. Yeah.
You don't know Gurley, right?
We understand.
Yeah.
We understand. We understand.
Atlanta at Arizona.
I've been picking Atlanta, and they've been just really making me look bad. But they gotta beat Arizona, right?
Yeah, they have to.
beat Arizona. They have to.
If they don't beat Arizona,
I would go to Atlanta.
Arizona.
Listen, if they lose to Arizona, you gotta find a coach.
Arizona.
After the game.
Tennessee at Denver.
What Tennessee team is showing up?
Such a bad.
Who's the one I thought was gonna show last week didn't? Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Tennessee again too.
Dallas at Jets. Oh yeah, I got a bye week this week. Huh?
I'm not even gonna say that because Donald's back. So
Yeah.
you know what? I would not be surprised if Sunday.
Well, who you going with?
I'm still going with the Cowboys.
Okay.
I think the game's gonna be closer because I think that they're gonna have it. But no, I'm gonna go with Dallas, but I do think the game's gonna be a little bit. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that, but they're gonna abuse Le'Veon.
Okay. 2 games left. Pittsburgh at the Chargers.
Oh, Chargers. They gotta bounce back because they looked terrible last year with Denver.
And the Monday night matchup, Detroit at Green Bay.
Ooh.
Detroit. I'm gonna just put it out there right now.
Green Bay.
I think Detroit's playing well, but I think not in Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay is coming off that big high. To me, they're not gonna sustain it. That's the picks. Everybody get in the comments and come up with a name, maybe? Anybody? Let us know. Jump.
And we're back. Our favorite segment of the show. Loser of the week. Naturel, what's the criteria?
Getting that ass beat.
And I'm gonna jump it off. You know,
Okay.
I was in the fantasy thing, you know, a separate one from our thing that we got going on. And there was some type of deal like, oh, pick a wide receiver, quarterback tandem that you think we're gonna get the most points. And I immediately said,
Sounds promising.
I said, who is playing the Atlanta Falcons? Because I know whoever's playing the Atlanta Falcons, we're going to put up the points. And sure enough, Deshaun Watson and Will Fuller, I mean, they just went crazy on the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, your defense is so bad. All right, I literally can pick just about any team that has a credible quarterback and a credible wide receiver, and they're gonna light you up. And then Dan Quinn, I mean, you're supposed to be about defense. You came from Seattle, but I don't see none of that existing. You guys got to be the losers of the week. Atlanta Falcons, your defense, ooh.
Cool. So I'll take the next one. Let me just go to the notes just because I gotta look at the name. Dave Peterson. Man, if you're like, who's Dave Peterson? I'll tell you who Dave Peterson is. Dave Peterson is the person, the Penn State alum who wrote Jonathan Sutherland a letter about his dreads, telling him how ugly they are, how doesn't he have a girlfriend or someone else who like basically loves him, I'm paraphrasing, to tell him how ugly they are so he can get rid of them. This is part of this racist stereotypes that keep going on, I guess, with certain people. I do say racist because these type of ideas do prevent black people from advancing, from getting certain jobs, from even the wrestler here in Jersey earlier couldn't wrestle a match because he had to cut his locks because the person reffing the match told him he couldn't have it. These ideas are old, these ideas are stifling, these ideas don't show the progress that this nation is really making to become inclusive, for people to try to understand each other's cultures rather than just downgrade. So for that, you are loser of the week. Hit it in.
Before I get into that, I'm just gonna piggyback. I am a diehard Penn State football fan, for anybody who doesn't notice. And I will say that you were on your own on that one. I'm just before the game at Iowa, Penn State wore all t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Standing unified. So I want to shout out James Franklin. I want to shout out the Penn State football team and community who actually don't stand with his idea and want people to progress, and
that was big.
think that. So for that, I
Shout out to
definitely take
James
back,
Franklin.
and definitely for that, because we definitely don't side with that or his thought process.
No doubt.
Going into that, back into my loser of the week though. I talked about him earlier, but I can't let him off the hook. My loser of the week is Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw, you're a generational pitcher. You are one of the best people to ever throw a baseball, but that doesn't excuse you for whatever you got going in between these 2 years when the postseason rolls around. Okay, you're a pitcher. You don't forget how to pitch. I played baseball growing up my whole life. I know that there's a lot of added pressure and stuff when games are bigger, but this is to a whole nother magnitude. You just completely forget what you're doing or your pitch location. It seems like you lose, actual momentum off your pitches. And for that, you're costing your team probably multiple World Series, and and probably yourself as to cement as one of, if not the greatest pitcher of all time, if you did hit on these opportunities that you keep coming. The Dodgers continuously keep giving them to you, and you continuously keep faltering and showing them why they shouldn't. So for that, Clayton Kershaw, hopefully again, you'll probably be back in the playoffs next year trying to prove yourself. But for this week, you're my loser of the week.
Loser of the week, no doubt. So everybody get in the comments. Let us know who your loser this week is here on The Jungle.